Hi, welcome to my book sanctuary. I'm Bianca and I wanted to update you on my reading. I am sorry that I haven't done that in a couple of weeks, but unfortunately we had some weather issues here and then I lost power for a while and then it was just a whole interesting couple of weeks. I'm finally able to update you about my reading in February, and I did actually slow down quite a lot in February. I read a lot of books in the beginning of February and then, dropped off considerably towards the end of the month. So, I wanted to start with Puck Your Neighbor. Now, this is an Omegaverse book, and honestly, it's not very memorable. Anya lives in this apartment by herself, and she's an Omega who's very wary of other alphas, and these three hockey player alphas move upstairs, and straight away they're all intrigued by each other and their scent matches, and that's about it. That I can remember anyway. I didn't really mesh with this one 100%. It was still okay. Like, I still gave it like a 3 stars, but I don't know. It was semi-boring for me, so that kind of sucked. So then I read This Is Our Forever. It was a little annoying in some aspects, but it wasn't too bad. She basically finds her partner, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, in bed with another woman, and he's a biker, and she is very young, if I remember correctly, like only 18. And anyway, finds him cheating, leaves, she's pregnant, and then a few years later, they, get involved with each other again. Their lives come back together, and he realizes he has this kid that he had no idea about. So it's secret baby, and like it wasn't really, again, anything overly memorable. So then I ended up reading Affliction, and again, very interesting book. Motorcycle Club book. And she is slightly larger. But the thing is I don't know how large she really is. I think she's only just a little bit, she doesn't sound like she's severely in trouble with her weight. And everybody calls her a pig or fat, or there's always something about her weight. And that kind of pisses me off. So it just sort of annoys the shit out of me when someone's sort of like fat, a pig, this and that. And it drives me nuts. So there was that. And Patriot is, an ex-military man. He's like 15 years her senior, so it's a serious age gap. He's a biker. And there's this whole drama with this other woman in the club, and kind of annoying when I actually start thinking about it. It's sort of, it kind of grated on me a little bit. But yeah, there was a lot of problems with her weight, Scylla, or whatever her name was. There was a lot of problem with that, and just the way it was conveyed that she was larger just seemed like they were always constantly putting her down, which a lot of characters were, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really mesh with this one when I think about it either. Maybe at the end of February was very ordinary in my reading. But after that, I actually ended up reading the second book in Unchained Hearts, which is Treachery. And this one, Locust and what was her name? Nadia. Locust and Nadia start this really nice relationship. He's a biker as well, and I actually didn't mind this one, but Nadia is a little insecure, if I remember correctly, and she ends up falling for Locust, and Locust pursues her and makes her feel like, the best thing since sliced bread, and then he betrays her, and she finds out that he wasn't seeing her because he liked her. There was ulterior motives behind why he was dating her, and it's really horrible, really. So yeah, he betrays her, and it's her trying to see if she can trust him again, even though she does, kind of love him, or was about to fall in love with him when he did all this. And for his part, he's very torn about what he did because he didn't think he was going to develop feelings for her, but he did, and it's become very complicated very quickly. So I did actually enjoy this one more than the first one. But yeah, I don't know. I think something sort of still fell flat with this one for me as well. Then I ended up reading Rhodey. I didn't mind this one actually, except for the whole name, that her name was Tuesday. I really liked that. but most people called her Chewy or other variants, other nicknames. Tuesday, I think, is on the spectrum. It definitely seems that way. And she has a couple of brothers, 3, I think, who help her out. And she's a bit of a vigilante, and she's got a bit of a dark side to her. And I actually, when I think about it, I found her really intriguing. There's a lot of her that is very neurodivergent. And yeah, she's very quirky and funny and doesn't always understand emotions. And I just liked the way Rhodey realised straight away that she was slightly different, but still enjoyed her for her and loved her for her. He obviously underestimates her a bit. And if I remember correctly, he's an enforcer. So her vigilante quest is very intriguing for him, and how she goes about it, and just how her family is integrated into the club. I found it really intriguing. And yeah, I thought Tuesday was absolutely hilarious. So then I moved on to the next book, which was Wire. And Wire is interesting because he's like their IT guy. He's very good at hacking and things like that. And because of reasons, they have had a bit of trouble with another club, if I remember correctly, but there's been strife. And this allied club has this like hacker that they want to go to Wire's club to learn off Wire about all, hacking and surveillance and blah, blah, blah. Computer stuff. Wire has a bit of a secret. I mean, his whole life he's had this like pen pal online, this best friend that he always talks to but has never met. And Remy is the same. She's always had a pen pal, best friend on the internet. Turns out neither of them have ever met because of reasons. And yeah, she's gone through a lot in her life, a lot. And now she's in this new club, getting out of her comfort zone. And it's her and Wire trying to, discover some stuff that's going on. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one too. It was actually kind of cute. So then I ended up reading Wreck Me, and James, was his name James? I'm pretty sure it was James. Yeah, James is this like bachelor billionaire, and he got himself into some strife by having public sex on a yacht in the middle of Europe somewhere, if I remember correctly. The point is he has a bad reputation. He needs a better reputation, and he's sort of put in this position where he has to find a wife. And his father's going to find him a wife if he doesn't find a wife. And then James finds Scarlett at this gentleman's club, and she's a pole dancer. And they agree to fake date or fake, get engaged and all that. And she's also this virgin with a complicated past. And James is just obsessed with her and wants her. And at the same time, knows no one's going to approve, but doesn't give a shit at the same instance. And yeah, this was interesting, I guess. James was possessive and whatnot, and yeah, Scarlett was okay, I guess. And the thing is James, falls in love with her, but he knows he can't really do anything about it because his father's never going to approve. So yeah, it's a whole mess. And then I ended up reading Lead. Well, actually, I ended up listening to Lead. So this is part of the Stage Dive series, and I actually read the first 2 books a little while ago. And the reason I ended up reading them was because I was searching or just, browsing on Instagram, and I came across Passionflix, and they were advertising the movie Dive. Was it Dive? No. I can't remember what it was called now. Lick. And they were advertising Lick, the movie, and it looked really interesting. Pretty sure at least one of the actors is Australian, so that's always cool. But it looked intriguing. So I read the book. So I actually bought them, which is very strange for me. I usually just go Kindle Unlimited when it comes to digital books. But that's not what I did. I bought the book. I quite enjoyed it. It was interesting. With this one, I didn't mind it either. It's book 3, and Jimmy is oh my God, I can't think of his name. But the guy in Lick, David? Yeah. Jimmy is David's brother, and they're part of the Rockstar group. And Jimmy has had substance abuse problems. He is sober now, but it's still a struggle, and he's always going to be some sort of addict for the rest of his life, and it's just dealing with that. Anyway, he gets this handler, babysitter, for want of a better word, and Lena, she is sort of thrust into it, and then over time, her and Jimmy start developing feelings, or she definitely starts developing feelings towards Jimmy. Jimmy does start developing feelings towards her too. It's just a little complicated. And she works for him. She's there to keep him on the straight and narrow and make sure he doesn't slip up, and because his life is very chaotic because of the Rockstar thing, and the band itself has had some issues in the past. And I like this series. I think in some ways I just kind of wished it focused a little bit more on maybe not the personal problems between, like, of the individual, but more of the couple together. Does that make any sense? I also feel that it ended somewhat abruptly. That's just me. That's basically all the books that I ended up reading in the end of February. So a lot less than I did in the beginning of the month, which is good. But yeah, that was it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I shall catch you in the next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.